Salutations, my friends. I'm so happy you've decided to join me today, for I have something very special planned. You see, in the spirit of October, I've decided to take a stroll through the graveyard of a town called Spoon River and dig up the masterpiece of Edgar Lee Masters' Spoon River Anthology. In this video, and future ones to come, we shall hear the thoughts of the dead who sleep on the hill, about a variety of things. Some stories may still ring true today, though this collection of poetry was published in 1914. So, with that in mind, I ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Hill. Where are Elmer, Herman, Bert, Tom, and Charlie? The weak of will, the strong of arm, the clown, the boozer, the fighter? All are sleeping on the hill. One passed in a fever, one was burned in a mine, one was killed in a brawl, one died in a jail. One fell from a bridge, toiling for children and wife. All are sleeping, sleeping on the hill. Where are Ella, Kate, Mag, Lizzie, and Edith? The tender heart, the simple soul, the loud, the proud, the happy one? All are sleeping on the hill. One died in shameful childbirth, one of a thwarted love, one at the hands of a brute in a brothel, one of a broken pride in search for heart's desire, one after life in faraway London and Paris, was brought to her little space by Ella and Kate and Mag. All are sleeping on the hill. Where are Uncle Isaac and Aunt Emily, and old Towny Kincaid and Severin Houghton, and Major Walker, who had talked with venerable men of the Revolution? All are sleeping on the hill. They brought them dead sons from the war, and daughters whom life had crushed, and their children fatherless, crying. All are sleeping on the hill. Where is old Fiddler Jones, who played with his life all his 90 years, braving the sleet with bared breast, drinking, rioting, thinking neither of wife nor kin, nor gold, nor love, nor heaven? Lo, he babbles of the fish fries of long ago, of the horse races of long ago at Clary's Grove, of what Abe Lincoln said one time at Springfield. Hod Putt. Here I lie close to the grave of old Bill Pearsall, who grew rich trading with the Indians, and who afterwards took the bankrupt law and emerged from it richer than ever. Myself grown tired of toil and poverty, and beholding how old Bill and others grew in wealth, robbed a traveler one night near Proctor's Grove, killing him unwittingly while doing so, for which I was tried and hanged. That was my way of going into bankruptcy. Now we who took the bankrupt law in our respective ways sleep peacefully side by side. Ollie McGee. Have you seen walking through the village a man with downcast eyes and haggard face? That is my husband, who, by secret cruelty never to be told, robbed me of my youth and my beauty, till at last, wrinkled and with yellow teeth, and with broken pride and shameful humility, I sank into the grave. But what think you gnaws at my husband's heart? The face of what I was, the face of what he made me. These are driving him to the place where I lie. In death, therefore, I am avenged. Fletcher McGee. She took my strength by minutes. She took my life by hours. She drained me like a fevered moon that saps the spinning world. The days went by like shadows. The minutes wheeled like stars. She took the pity from my heart and made it into smiles. She was a hunk of sculptor's clay. My secret thoughts were fingers. They flew behind her pensive brow and lined it deep with pain. They set the lips and sagged the cheeks and drooped the eyes with sorrow. My soul had entered in the clay, fighting like 7 devils. It was not mine, it was not hers. She held it, but its struggles modeled a face she hated, and a face I feared to see. I beat the windows, shook the bolts. I hid me in a corner. And then she died and haunted me, and hunted me for life. Robert Fulton Tanner. If a man could bite the giant hand that catches and destroys him, as I was bitten by a rat while demonstrating my patent trap in my hardware store that day. But a man can never avenge himself on the monstrous ogre life. You enter the room, that's being born, and then you must live, work out your soul. Aha, the bait that you crave is in view. A woman with money you want to marry, prestige, place, or power in the world. But there's work to do and things to conquer. Oh yes, the wires that screen the bait. At last you get in, but you hear a step. That ogre, life, comes into the room. He was waiting and heard the clang of the spring, to watch you nibble the wondrous cheese, and stare with his burning eyes at you, and scowl and laugh and mock and curse you, running up and down in the trap, until your misery bores him. Cassius Hofer. They have chiseled on my stone the words, his life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. Those who knew me smile as they read this empty rhetoric. My epitaph should have been, life was not gentle to him, and the elements so mixed in him that he made warfare on life, in which he was slain. While I lived, I could not cope with slanderous tongues. Now that I am dead, I must submit to an epitaph graven by a fool. Sarepta Mason. My life's blossom might have bloomed on all sides, save for the bitter wind which stunted my petals on the side of me which you in the village could see. From the dust I lift a voice of protest. My flowering side you never saw. Ye living ones, ye are fools indeed, who do not know the ways of the wind and the unseen forces that govern the processes of life. Amanda Barker. Henry got me with child, knowing that I could not bring forth life without losing my own. In my youth, therefore, I entered the portals of dust. Traveler, it is believed in the village where I lived that Henry loved me with a husband's love, but I proclaim from the dust that he slew me to gratify his hatred. Constance Hately. You praise my self-sacrifice, Spoon River, in rearing Irene and Mary, orphans of my older sister. And you censure Irene and Mary for their contempt for me. But Praise not my self-sacrifice, and censor not their contempt. I reared them, I cared for them, true enough, but I poisoned my benefactions with constant reminders of their dependence. Chase Henry. In life I was the town drunkard. When I died, the priest denied me burial in holy ground. The which redounded to my good fortune, for the Protestants bought this lot and buried my body here, close to the grave of the banker Nicholas and of his wife Priscilla. Take note, ye prudent and pious souls, of the cross currents in life which bring honor to the dead who lived in shame. Harry Carey Goodhue. You never marveled, dullards of Spoon River, when Chase Henry voted against the saloons to revenge himself for being shut off. But none of you was keen enough to follow my steps or trace me home as Chase's spiritual brother. Do you remember when I fought the bank and the courthouse ring for pocketing the interest on public funds? And when I fought our leading citizens for making the poor the pack horses of the taxes? And when I fought the waterworks for stealing streets and raising rates? And when I fought the businessmen who fought me in these fights? Then do you remember that staggering up from the wreck of defeat and the wreck of a ruined career, I slipped from my cloak my last ideal, hidden from all eyes until then, like the cherished jawbone of an ass, and smote the bank and the waterworks and the businessmen with prohibition, and made Spoon River pay the cost of the fights that I had lost? Judge Somers. How does it happen, tell me, that I, who was the most erudite of lawyers, who knew Blackstone and Coke almost by heart, who made the greatest speech the courthouse ever heard, and wrote a brief that won the praise of Justice Breese, how does it happen, tell me, that I lie here unmarked, forgotten, while Chase Henry, the town drunkard, has a marble block topped by an urn, wherein nature, in a mood ironical, has sown a flowering weed?